Hi, my name is Cathy Neptune and welcome to my kitchen, Cathy's Kitchen. Whether you like to cook or you have to cook, everybody has to eat. So I'm going to give you some ideas to use in your kitchen that makes cooking fun, fast, and fabulous by sharing with you some of my favorite recipes. So let's get started. I'll tell you what we're making today. It's nothing fancy. In fact, it's kind of simple. We're making a sandwich. So big deal, a sandwich, but it's a very special sandwich. It's called a Muffaletta. And it's based on a traditional recipe from New Orleans. And it has cold cuts of your choice and a wonderful olive salad or tapenade that goes on top. And one of the things that I'm going to try and share with you through these programs are alternatives and choices that you have to make these recipes flexible and that they work in your kitchen for you, your tastes, and your family. So I've started with a bread dough. Now you may think, why not just try to find a regular submarine roll or whatever, but let's make this fun, let's make it interesting. This is what I call the pop doughs that you buy in a long tube. There's a French bread roll, and there's now an Italian one, and I've used an Italian one today. In fact, I've used two, and you use the package directions, but you put them in a horseshoe pattern here and another one here, and very important to pinch the edges together so that it forms a nice circle. So you've baked that ahead, and when it's almost cool, you don't want to slice your bread while it's warm or it'll just tear and disintegrate. So when it's almost warm, you slice it, and you take the bread dough. Now you'll see there's a little pattern here, it doesn't matter, but here's a great tip and technique to use when you're doing these stuffed sandwiches, which is this. This is what this is. You want to, instead of tearing the bread dough from the center and pulling it out to make room, I've taken, you can see the imprint of a spice bottle or a small glass or anything that fits inside, and you press the bread dough. And that's why you want to do this while the bread is still warm, because it will react better to this technique. I did the same with the top, so you can see what a difference this will make in getting more filling and less bread in your sandwich or muffaletta. This is a great technique too if you're ever doing a soup bowl and you want to do a bread bowl for your soup. It also reinforces the structure of the bread, so it'll hold up much better to the juices and so forth coming from the olive salad. So let's set that aside, and you can make this ahead of time and cover it completely to keep it fresh. So with our olive salad, which is what I'm going to do next, I've pre-prepped a lot of it here for you, and it's chopped. And for those of you who like to chop, go for it. I want to show you one of my favorite tools in the kitchen. And it's a food chopper, and I love it because unlike the old-fashioned ones, it rotates every time you use it. So in this bowl are the ingredients that I have chopped up, and these are black olives and green olives, some celery, and you can use, again, vary the olives. You can go to Italian markets and find these wonderful choices that you have of all different flavors in all different colors, so have fun with this. Now we just take our food chopper, and you get in a bad mood, and you pound like this. You can see what a bad day I've had, and you chop here, and this is great. Lets everybody know what you're doing in the kitchen. And you can see how quick and efficient this is. And then I just throw it in my dishwasher. If you want to do a stir fry, you hit it twice. But look at how easy that is. And then you're done. This is great too. You can put this cover and you can do, I did cherry tomatoes in here as well. So it does a great job if you want to make fresh salsas this time of year from your garden. Hopefully you have a garden. If not, they're wonderful this time of year. I asked my neighbor, who's an expert in gardening, I wanted to know what would happen if you watered your tomatoes with tequila. And I haven't gotten an answer yet, but I'm hopeful. So we're going to add that in here. And to this, we're going to add some fresh garlic and some onion. Oh, I put the garlic in there already. There's 2 cloves of garlic in there. And then we're going to use a sweet onion. Here's a tip about onions. You go to the store and you think an onion is an onion, but the flatter the onion, the sweeter it's going to be. Okay, that's going to be on the test. You want to do good on the test. Same with red onions too. And you know what? If you don't have sweet onions and you need sweet onions, take a regular onion, yellow onion, put it in a little glass dish. It's important to use glass because you want to add a little bit of sugar to the water, and you soak your onions in there, and you're going to have a sweet onion. It pulls all the bitter enzymes from your onion, and it'll make it sweet. It's great on hamburgers. So we're going to take, and of course we're going to chop this. Do you like chopping onions? I don't. Not at all. This is the best tool when you're making soups because everything in soup is chopped, carrots, onions, and celery. So we're going to take approximately that many onions and put it in there. And by the way, don't worry about writing this recipe down or trying to remember it, because you can email me the address that comes up on your screen, and I'll be happy to send you the recipes. Also, tips and tool ideas and resources on where to find some of these, my favorite tools. So we add that. So in here we have 2 different types of olives, chopped onions, 2 cloves of garlic, chopped tomatoes, and I added your favorite bottled Italian dressing, about 1/4 of a cup. And you can see you can make this ahead of time as well. Let the flavors marry and marinate overnight. And it makes a wonderful dressing. You can also use this as a bruschetta on grilled or barbecued breads, especially ciabatta. And that's all there is to it. Now let's assemble our muffaletta. And it's always good to keep track of how you take your bread dough off so it positions itself perfectly. Now, if you're a mayonnaise person, and I find most New Englanders love their mayo, you can put any kind of mayo or dressing on the bottom, and it kind of glues the bottom of your sandwich together. And you can basically put anything you want on the inside of this besides what we have. I've added red peppers or green peppers to the olives. I've also added some cucumbers. And so basically use any summer ingredients that you have on hand that would make this more festive for you, or to utilize what you have on hand. Again, we're going to use your favorites as far as cold cuts. We have some wonderful fresh sliced turkey. And we bought all these wonderful fresh ingredients from Shaw's Supermarket in Clinton, and we want to thank them for their generosity in supporting this program. So we're putting any flavored sliced turkey breast or chicken breast that you'd like. You can choose Italians if you want to go with Coca-Cola, but I usually suggest a very basic plain meat and mixing it with a salty meat like we have here, a Genoa salami. So you get your plain turkey or chicken breast. Instead of salami, what do you think you could use instead of salami? Ham. It's got a salty flavor to it. Or any of the deli meats that are your favorites. Now I'm going to alternate, again, with different kinds of cheese. I'm doing provolone and American. You could do a saltier cheese like a Swiss that's very nutty. Or a Havarti is very good, very creamy. Say you wanted to do a Mexican muffaletta. You could do the same mixture and do a spicier ham, avocados, sliced red onions, and do a salsa on the top instead of the olive tapenade. So how fun and creative can you get with this recipe? You can slice fresh tomatoes or red onions, but I find for the most part, people have a preference of what they'd like. So if you're not sure, you could serve those alongside in this recipe, and they could add their own onions or peppers. Or pepperoncini is very good in here, although I think I forgot to mention that I did chop up pepperoncinis in here. And I love to have pepperoncinis in the refrigerator. I use them even in Mexican food because they're always convenient in a jar and ready to use. This is some fresh baby spinach that I'm putting on top. You could use arugula if you'd like. It adds a really nice spicy flavor. Even shredded romaine or iceberg lettuce would be fine as well. And then we're going to add on the top our wonderful olive tapenade. And don't be afraid to be very generous with this. And the wonderful thing about this sandwich is the longer it sets, under refrigeration of course, the better it gets. You can see how these flavors will just fold right into the rest of your sandwich or muffaletta, which makes this the perfect picnic or barbecue sandwich. I brought this to a barbecue, and because I've been cooking and doing shows for 23 years, they expect something amazing. And they said, so what are you going to bring to the barbecue, Cathy? And I said, I'm bringing a sandwich. They looked a little disappointed. But after they tasted it, one of the guys came up to me and said, this was the second best sandwich I've ever had in my life. And to this day, I always wondered what his first favorite was. But being second is not a bad thing. So look at how fabulous this is. You could always serve this on the side if somebody wanted to add some or put it on bruschetta. But you are going to love this. And then you can leave the top on like on the side. And you know what I do? I present this, I slice it, and then I present it with potato chips or corn chips in the middle. Spectacular. Now here's an interesting variation too. If you didn't want to do this type of pop can bread and you want to be a little more adventuresome, use frozen bread dough, and you have to really know how to work with thawed out bread dough. You want to thaw it only, but don't let it rise. So the best way to do that is oil it in a plastic bag overnight in the refrigerator. It's perfectly thawed. And the next day, just do that overnight one day, take it out and do the same thing and pinch the sides. But just so you know, when that rises, it looks like a tire tube. It is huge. But let me tell you, the oohs and ahs when you present this at a barbecue or at your function, perfect for graduations. The teenagers go nuts over a big sandwich. It's about this big, and you have a big platter, or get a clean board and wash it down and put your sandwich on a big square board in the center. It'll be the centerpiece of your table. So this is our Italian muffaletta. And always use a good serrated bread knife. You don't want to tear the bread, you want to cut the bread. This is so good. You should charge admission for this one. Look at that. And think of all the fun things that you could do with this recipe. I have done this with a steak and red onion and arugula salad with a blue cheese tapenade on top. Fabulous. You'll be the talk of the tree. And that's what it's all about in the kitchen. Not just making it good, but making it fun, making it different, making it for everybody. And there we go. So So how easy was that? And don't forget to email me if you have any questions. I'll be so happy to send you the recipe too. That's what I do, is share recipes. Now we're going to do dessert. You're going to love this because it's strawberry season somewhere all year long now. You can get fresh strawberries. So what I've done is cored out fresh strawberries, and I'm going to show you how I did this. This is another favorite tool. I've cut off the bottom of the strawberry so that it sets up like this, just like so. And I do them all at once. Save all these little bits, especially if the kids are in the kitchen cooking with you. And I think that's the best place for children because you know what they're doing and they learn so much. We're going to take this, has little serrated teeth. It's called a cook's cora. And you take the stem off. Now, when you buy strawberries, you never buy one strawberry. You have a ton of strawberries. Make it easy so that you can core everything. And now, I'm not going through to the bottom, but I'm coring out and basically making a little cup with your strawberry. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, there's a lot of things you can do with this, but it's all about the technique. And this is what you want to make for the 4th of July, because when we're done, you're going to see why. So and save those little bits too. You don't want to throw anything away. So coring this, you know what this is good for too? Have you ever bought a pineapple and they have all those little dots on the pineapple? And you can't dig them out with a knife or a vegetable peeler. This makes really short work of that. So now you have all your cute little strawberries, and you can make as many as you want. And in a decorator set, and you don't need a decorator set, get a plastic bag, anything that you can pipe a frosting into. And this is a mixture of cream cheese, sugar, and vanilla, powdered sugar. And one of my new discoveries that I absolutely love, did you know you can get Greek yogurt cream cheese now? It's lower in fat, it's got a nice piquant flavor, and it's just a little different, but it's healthier too. But you can use fat-free, you can use low-fat cream cheese. And what I'm gonna do, look at how easy this is, to just pipe this. Oh, it might be a little cold, but you wanna pipe this into your strawberries. Like so. Oops. And on top, make sure you set this out a little longer than I did. But you fill these up and you put a blueberry on the top and you have your red, white, and blue for your 4th of July picnic. It's a 1 to 2 bite max. And I think it's pretty cool. Now, in the winter months, if you weren't doing 4th of July, what I do is just chop up some graham crackers in here in this little cup and sprinkle the top of it with your graham crackers. You could do chopped almonds if you'd like. And what you're creating here is an inside-out cheesecake in one bite. It's also fun to use these with a chocolate mousse. And you can do that around the holidays with white chocolate or dark chocolate mousse. Perfect for Valentine's Day too. So these are our little red, white, and blue strawberries for the 4th of July. And I promise you I'm going to fill all of those. And you'll want to do this too for your picnic. I want to thank Shaw's again for their generosity and kindness in supporting Cathy's Kitchen. I hope you enjoyed these recipes and you'll try them, enjoy them with your family and friends, and may the fork be with you.